Hello and welcome to Oxford. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53 and I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for tour mods at Oxford as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 2 Week 11 official series. If you guys can, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Does a ton to help my channel. Helps us get our content out to iRacers just like you who want to improve their iRacing. So the big thing with tour mods at Oxford is you cannot, and I cannot stress this enough, cannot overdrive your car. You really have to take it easy. The harder you drive, it's just like a super late model around here. The harder you drive it, the worse your lap is going to be. So let's go out here for qualifying, and I will we'll walk you guys through it. So we're going to come out, we're going to tire heat, gas brake, swerve, left, right. Lap 2 is going to be our fast lap. I'm going to tire heat probably to about right here on the track, maybe the white line there that we just passed, one of those two. But if you guys are looking to upgrade your sim racing equipment, head over to my friends at Impel Motorsports, impelmotorsports.com. They've got Moza and Next Level Sim Rigs. Great place to start. If you need questions, stuff like that answered, send me a DM in Discord. You can join through the Team 53 Discord below. I'm happy to help you guys out. I've been on iRacing for like 13 years now. So we're going to get ready here for lap 2. It's going to be a hard throttle off this corner, but notice how I never get to full throttle here. We don't get to full throttle at all going down the front stretch coming to our fast lap. And this is going to be key. The big thing at Oxford is controlling tire spin. These tires don't like to grip with the surface very well. So the harder you are on throttle, the more tire spin you're creating, the less speed you're creating. So we've got this car pitched. Let's go into the cockpit view. So I'm going to bring this car in, and I'm going to shoot for this lighter gray color down here, here on my entry. So I bring it in. I want to get this left side as close as I can to this curb, and then I'm going to let it drift up just a little bit in the center of the corner because the curbs don't line up very well. So we bring this in, and you can see here, bringing it in, lift point 2 for you guys is kind of like this white line here. It's really tough to tell. There's really no good lift point for Oxford, but as you come up on the curb in the cockpit, that's usually kind of my cue is once I can kind of start to really visualize that. Obviously now that I'm more used to things, it's all based on sound versus visual. But when you're first starting out, the visual cues, replays of your laps, things of that nature, that can really, really help you to know, okay, I was a little late there. Here's what the engine sounds like. Okay. And you kind of figure stuff out that way. So we're going down here into the corner, dragging some brake. We're just going to let this car roll. Like I said, the lighter gray is where we want to have the left sides. We're going to let it drift a little bit here in center because as you can see, this lighter gray color changes around that curbing. So that curbing is wider. So it'll feel like you're kind of pushing tight here in the center, but really you're just pushing to keep that left front off that curb. As the car starts to grip back up, you can throttle up here and drive off the corner. You can see again down the backstretch. We never get to full throttle. Never ever get to full throttle. Now we go here in the cockpit. And again, as we approach this curb, you can see we're starting to get some brake, less throttle. We're going to drive it into the corner and we're just going to let this car rotate free through the corner, grab a little bit of throttle, use that to really pitch the car where we want it to be in the corners. And then as we go through this restart zone, we get to the second line. That's where we're going to get to our max throttle here. And I just point it straight off the corner. I don't really try and keep it cornered. I just point it straight. I drive through the start finish line and then I grab brake and we go off into the dirt for a 1X. But that little drive straight off the corner there, that's worth a couple hundredths, which seems ridiculous to talk about a couple of hundredths in qualifying trim. But at a track like Oxford, that could be the difference between, a first and a second, or, starting on the inside, which is key here, versus starting on the outside. So just kind of keep that in mind. Let's give you guys a lap inside the car. Here you go. Super nice runoff there. Um, Yeah. So I always get asked some different ways people can help support the stream. We've got merch, team53racing.com. We've got some sim racing accessories, steering wheel hooks, stuff like that that we 3D print that you can head over there and grab. But also our friends at Overdrive Racing Oils and Lubricants, brand new sponsor for us. They're an AMSOIL dealer. So if you do your own oil changes on your car, head over there. There's a link in the description below to get to the AMSOIL account and to be able to purchase products. All your support of that definitely goes directly to supporting the channel and helping to keep these videos free. So as you can see here with the tour mods, first couple laps really loose. You saw me overdrive the entry of one and push up about a half a lane. And that's going to be something that you guys really have to manage with 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 traffic this week, right? With all the cars that you're going to run around, you've really got to be paying attention, especially if you're in that second lane. But race trim is just going to all be about managing the bottom, holding the bottom, and managing the right rear tire, keeping that underneath you. It's a long race. I think this is a 85 lap race, so it's definitely one of those where you can settle in. There's going to be comers and goers, and you just really, really want to be patient and just kind of ride. And like I said, the more you try and get harder on throttle, the more worse your laps are going to be. The deeper you drive it into the corner, the worse your lap is going to be. Oxford is a rhythm track, meaning you just get into that rhythm, you have the pace that you have, and you work on getting better every time out. Um, in terms of passing here, good luck. But entry to one, entry to three are probably the most popular dive bombs. Sometimes if you get a guy who's driving really aggressively on exit, they'll start to push up a little bit, and you can get underneath them on entry. Otherwise, it's a whole lot of bump and runs. That's pretty much standard here. But, we race people how we want to be raced. And if you give a bump and run, you got to be prepared for a dump and run. Big thing I always tell people is just be patient. Somebody's going to make a mistake. It's a tour mod. It's really easy to overdrive these cars on entry. It's really, 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 really easy to get them sideways, on exit. So just be there, be ready to drive underneath them when that happens, and best of luck, and we will see you guys in the next video.